I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why I'm down, yeah? No friends of mine around, yeah. Now I'm thinking I might have caught the June blues, yeah. I wanna drown myself inside the juice, yeah. You know I keep on running from the truth. Was that not? I'm just a lonely fucking you. Now when I drive around, don't feel it up. Why it's getting colder when the sun come out? Might just waste away, don't know what life about. Another day go by, don't know what got me down. June blues, yeah, I got the June blues, yeah. Walk around like who you, yeah. It's something you get used to, yeah. Go back to June blues, yeah. It's just the June blues, yeah. Walk around like who you, yeah. Just something you get used to. Breaking news got me breaking. I was present, hopeless, praying. Struck down at 20, plenty left to put behind you. You ain't peaked, devil's peeking, now they speaking about you, leave it alone. Hope you grinning while you watch your bros on some soulful sunny shit to brighten up a wounded soul. Honest, you the penny, pick it up like Chevy, New Age Machiavelli, disagree, don't tell me, now you in infinity, we 98, trust that he be good. On the ball like BB, don't make no mistakes, got the faith. The 18 just not gon' be the same. Finna bleed down generations, not gon' be in vain. Too young, why you gotta go, I just wanna know now, too numb. Crying getting old, hope you freed your soul, I might have caught the June blues, yeah. I wanna drown myself inside the juice, yeah. You know I keep on running from the truth. Was that not? I'm just a lonely fucking you. Now when I drive around, don't fill it up. Why it's getting colder when the sun come out? Might just waste away, don't know what life about. Another day go by, don't know what got me down.
Hey y'all! You know what it is. In my hands, I have the So Jaded palette. That's a collaboration between Kathleen Lights and Colourpop, and on the inside it has 30 original shades. This is the first mega palette that Colourpop has done. 2 of these shades are pressed glitters, which I am not a fan of. Nonetheless, I'm glad there are only 2 pressed glitters. So if you've been with me for pretty much any amount of time, you'll know that I love Colourpop eyeshadows. However, Colourpop is exhausting with all of their releases. Maybe 3 or 4 days before this palette was released, Colourpop had released their collaborations with that girl Shay and Jess. And I was actually kind of surprised to see this come out so soon. I was really excited for it, but it makes me, I don't know, I felt kind of bad and like their collabs weren't given as much of an opportunity or the chance to be successful because Colourpop had decided to release like 3 new things in the same week. I typically don't like such large palettes as this. Let's say a palette has 30 or 40 shades. A lot of the times, that palette did not need to have that many shades. Like that, there were not enough unique shades in that palette to warrant it being that size, is how I feel much of the time. It's pretty much every large Morphe palette that they've ever released. Looking at this palette, I don't feel that way at all. This palette just creatively inspires me so much, and so I can't wait to play with it. That being said, let's get into it now. Hi, Editing Sally here. I'm interjecting because I ended up recording a beautiful but maybe boring everyday look, so for your enjoyment, here are 2 more interesting looks that I created using this palette. One is using some of the greens and earth tones, and one is using some of the dreamy purples and duochromes. Now on to my first look. I think the shade that impressed me the most upon swatching them is actually matte. That doesn't happen to me a lot. It is this shade called Citrine. I really want to play with this shade today. And because we're kind of going into the fall months, I'm feeling something fall-y. I'm going to do this Kathleen Light style where I hold up the palette and point to an eyeshadow, and then that's what I'm going to put on my eye. Well, let's see where we go. Okay, I know I did like a really basic warm tone eyeshadow look. However, I told you I was feeling autumn colors. I already mentioned I wanted to use the mustard shade. There was another shade that I really wanted to play with, and that is this. This shade is Tiger Eye, and it's what I put all over my lid. You can see it better in the center of the lid. It's like a bronze. It's like a old, ancient, dirty bronze. I'll also definitely be recording more looks using this sometime in the future. This palette feels so thoughtfully curated. Every shade has its place and its purpose. There's just so much potential and so many different ways that I can go with this palette to create my face art. And this is a colorful palette, but the colors are deep and rich, and these jewel tones just make it really wearable for every day as well. I would not hesitate to wear a green look using these greens, or like a more mauve tone look if I go into these. I could do a really earth tone look using these shades, like I said before. I can go real mermaid with these shades and even this emerald shade down here, just all of these. I can of course go really bronzy if I center around this sunstone shade. I can go dreamy and ethereal with fluorite and alexandrite. I can go really light and angelic using these shades. Literally just looking at this off the top of my head, you can see how much this inspires me. I want to play around with some more of those like kind of dirt shades. I don't know, some like dirty, earthy tones. By the way, Onyx is the name of a Pokemon, and Geodude is also a name of a Pokemon, so I really appreciate that 2 out of the 30 shades are named after one of my childhood obsessions and current obsessions. What do you think about this palette? Did you pick it up? What do you think about my look? Was it boring? Was it beautiful? Was it both? I love seeing all your comments and all your opinions, so even if they're bad ones, just give it to me. If there's a specific kind of look, maybe out of those, maybe of your own imagination, or if there are specific shades that you really want me to use, definitely tell me, please. I hope you had fun with me today, and if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you liked me, then you can subscribe if you haven't already. Before you go about the rest of your day, I must tell you that you are my treasure, and remember to find beauty in every day, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!